Hey, what's up, guys? My name is RobJr, and this is my channel, Creative Rob. Thanks for tuning in. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you the painting process of my newest portrait of Greta Thunberg. And for you all who aren't sure who she is or want to know a little bit about her, she is a Swedish environmental activist promoting the view that humanity is facing a crisis arising from climate change. And she's currently only 17. And the way she got started was just she started with a sign saying school strike for climate, and soon other students started to do the same thing, and she inspired them, and over 1 million people got involved. So there's a little bit of background. Now on to the painting. I started off with a sketch, and currently what I'm doing now is I'm mixing the paint. I'm trying to mix all the colors that I think I'm gonna need beforehand. Makes it a little easier, at least for me. And I'm using this tray here for my mediums. That's oil and mineral spirits. And I'm also using liquid impasto. This helps retain crisp textures and brush marks, and it speeds up the drying. It has a semi-gloss. So I am starting off with the darkest colors. And if you don't follow me on Facebook or Instagram, look up Creative Rob and go give me a like, befriend me. Now I do have to say, I did post this picture. I always post my pictures first on Instagram and Facebook before the video comes out, and most of the time that's because I finished the picture and I haven't edited the video. So the way that kind of works out is once I post it, at least in my mind, I'm thinking I'm letting people get a preview of what they're gonna see in the video. Anyway, so yeah, here's a couple interesting art groups on Facebook that you can join. You can get some interesting critiques, and if it's a political figure, some criticism. And I didn't think I was going to get a lot of criticism with Greta Thunberg. Oh man, was I wrong. Now, it wasn't like the Trump painting, but yeah, some people don't like her very much, which I think is ridiculous. How can you not like someone who's only trying to make the earth a better place? Literally. I mean, I do get a lot of likes, but there's a few trolls, and I think, I swear to God, I made this one guy so mad. Um, and I try to respond in a respectful way, but uh, these people kind of go off on a tangent. And one guy was like, "Who's gonna buy a painting of that crazy B word?" I'm thinking, holy crap, man! She's 17, and all she's doing is inspiring millions of people to take care of the earth, and let's make some changes so that uh, kids and their kids can live in a beautiful place. Um, but anyways, I responded, well, I didn't paint it for money. um, but yeah, I mean, there's some trolls on there. They just flip out. And so now I'm kind of back to the painting. I laid down sort of a mid color, and now I'm adding some red tones for the cheeks, and you know, kind of giving it a flesh face look. Some people think Greta only does it for money. And then they're like, do your research instead of going along with the sheep. I'm like, man, I've done the research, and so have scientists, and science points to global warming. And really, I didn't paint her for to get in political discussions. I was just inspired by her. Yeah, I feel like if you dislike the politics of a painting, the proper way to um, express how you feel is by giving facts and talking in a respectful way. I don't want to hear you call people names. I mean, this just shows your ignorance, you know. I had one person just call her names, me names, everyone who talked to them names, And he's like, I guess I'm just triggering you. It's nice to see you triggered, Snowflake. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good one. I think my painting triggered you, man. And that wasn't even meant to. I was just inspired by her. To be so young and to put her voice out there like that and inspire millions of kids. It's nice to see kids care like this and try to make a change. I haven't seen a protest like that in a long time, and I like it. I like seeing this young generation care about something that's so important and try to make a change. We only have one Earth. Let's take care of it. Now, I was kind of experimenting here, and I'm using a paper towel and a little bit of the mineral spirits to create the highlights and kind of rub off the paint. And then I'll go back in with a blender brush. So what I'm doing is I'm just adding some of the little details before I go in with the palette knife and start adding bold strokes. So here I'm using a clean palette knife and making scrapes, and now I'm using some of the leftover paint and just making little squares all over the background. This is the fun part for me. It's scary too after you spend so much time developing the portrait and trying to get a good likeness and go in and do this, but I like the energy it has and the feeling it gives to the painting and the subject. The funny thing about this painting is I thought I was done and hung it up on the wall to let it dry, and I looked at it for about 5 minutes and I took a picture of it, and I went to bed and I was looking at my phone of the picture of the painting, and about an hour went by and I was like, something doesn't look right, and I ended up getting up and working on it some more. It's been about 10 more minutes on it, but yeah, after that I was super happy with it. Again, I'm also using a scraper and It's used for pottery. And that's actually the knife I'm using right there was a Bob Ross palette knife. This is where I took the painting back off the wall and decided to rework it. I felt like the face was too flat. I wanted to add more color to it, more texture. So in this series I'm experimenting with these thick, bold palette knife brush strokes and scrapes, and then the soft texture of the portrait. So there's a fine line that I have to meet so that there's a nice symmetry and feel to it. Again, and so I went over some of those spots I rubbed off with the paper towel and put some white highlights over that just to give it some texture. Adding some more shadows to her hand. Now, some people were also saying because she has autism that her parents were using her, taking advantage of her, and I don't believe that. I have heard this girl's speeches, and I've seen her on Ellen DeGeneres and other talk show, and she does a great job. And if she didn't want to do it, then she wouldn't. And I think because of her autism, she's super focused on this and passionate. So that's just my take on it. Adding some scratches, it's always fun. So here's the final product. I still need to varnish and paint the sides, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. We may not see eye to eye politically, but that's okay. Let's just critique the painting and enjoy that. Maybe you learned something, some good painting or techniques, or maybe you learned about Greta Thunberg. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.